Okay, so I wanted to just show what I do in this tool here. What it's really good at is breaking down who's having the conversations and what conversations they're having in Twitter specifically here. So I just wanted to show what I had put together for ProcurePort here. So one thing we can do with this data here is, for example, see all the hashtags that are related to any particular concept that we want to search for. So in this case, I literally put in hashtag procurement, hashtag procure to pay, and then a few other ones. And all these other hashtags came up because they, get tweeted together. So let's look at, let's just say procurement here. I'll scroll down, procurement. So not only do we get like all these other topics here that are, things that we can look into as far as marketing outlets, but we can also see who might be driving the conversation in procurement. So there's a thing called modularity class, which basically maps all the nodes that are really similar to procurement together into the same group. So what we can do, we're just going to sort by modularity class and find group 174. And okay, so you see we got all these hashtags here. There's our procurement. So these are all the hashtags that are related deeply to procurement here on the Twitter network. There's tons of links, media, actual tweets, and of course users. And this is where finding the influencers really comes into play here. So we can see things like their follower count, their friend count. So and also we can do other things like understand their what's called betweenness centrality, which is basically how important that node is in the network. So someone like Andrew Bartolini has a relatively high betweenness centrality in this. So he's like a, pretty, at least in this graph, a pretty good influencer here. We can even look at his description: advisor, analyst, evangelist, and procurement. So this is like an interesting, quick way to find who like the top influencers are. There's also things like, all kinds of different analysis we can do on the graph. So I even have their page ranks. So this is just like one example of things we can do. We can find the conversations that are happening. We can find who's driving those conversations. And then what we did in Droplet was actually be reaching out to these people to create content with them and then spread it through their network. And there's all kinds of stuff we can do here in terms of, seeing who's talking about what, where they're talking about it, when they're talking about it, and so on.